Welcome everybody back to the TheDomCast episode 40, and let's just go ahead and get right into it before we start slandering the Knicks. Go ahead and say what's up, Rod and E.
Yo, how you doing?
What's up?
Yo, I can't make this up. 30 seconds before we cut the podcast on, Fiz Dale got fired, and thank God Rod had his phone here because we would have missed that. Right. And I was just listening to a video yesterday, and the Knicks were one of the subjects, and they were saying like, yeah, that press conference they did a month ago was most likely a setup for him getting fired. But wasn't Fiz Dale was a good coach? Known as like a good coach, right? Like he started. Go ahead. Yeah,
he one of the better coaches.
Yeah. Like when he was in Memphis, I remember like he was generally like renowned as a good coach, and now the Knicks. What I don't understand, this is what I was thinking about yesterday. I just didn't write Fiz Dale down, but when I was watching the video, I was like, what is firing Fiz Dale fix for the Knicks? You know
Absolutely
what I mean?
Nothing.
Like, what is that? And that's to go to a deeper conversation of how coaches are always the scapegoat, for everything in the NBA, right? Like throughout the years, a team not doing good, it's the coach.
Can't fire a player. Money involved.
And that always goes to the conversation of me wondering like how people, on the outside like us, how we judge coaches anyways, because like we're not around the team every day, right? We don't know what they're talking about to the team every day. I guess by schemes and rotations is how people judge the coach.
But I don't know what would Knicks plan coming in this season. What were their goals? Let's keep it a G. Like what?
Their goals.
All the preseason predictions, they wouldn't have played a lot of players.
Because we gotta remember, like this is a player-driven league, and they don't have players.
Yeah, well, the thing is, like they have players, but like the wrong ones, because they got all power forwards. He has like 5 power forwards on that
best
team.
Players, what's Buddy?
It's like they're trying to do a puzzle with no corner pieces. Like, I don't know what they're doing.
Like Taj Gibson, Julius Randle.
That's
all
their
these
best
guys.
Player.
Yeah, it's all these guys that, like, of course, RJ Barrett's your cornerstone, but then all these other guys are dudes that you would see on teams that are trying to contend for something. Like the Bulls used to run with Taj Gibson. Julius Randle's a young guy. You assume if he was on a good team, like he would probably be making a difference. Yeah. But like when you just stick them all together, that shit don't make no sense.
Like I've seen Morris playing point guard a couple times before.
Okay, but there's the other thing, Marcus Morris. Like we had Marcus Morris in Boston. He's playing good this year, but he liked to let that bitch fly. He
touched the ball. He let it go.
Yeah, and he's shooting good this year. No, but they're losing like shit. But so he's shooting good this year. But it's like, okay, you get a player like Morris when you have RJ Barrett, who you probably want, assuming how high he was drafted, you probably are looking forward to him being your guy, right? Like,
things are so bad right now that last couple of times on social media when the Knicks have like posted like the games haven't even put the score.
This shit just silent, right? What did they post? I saw a tweet about that.
Yeah, because they like lost by like 40 and 30, but they didn't say like show what the score was.
They just said like final, something like that. And put like insert here on the graphics.
Or they put like a player that did good his stats.
Right.
Yeah.
Because that's what's been going on with the Knicks this week, because they've been losing. Every time I look, they getting their ass like smacked by like 30. So it was the Bucks. I turned that game on. It was like 90-50 or something like that. I believe the Nuggets the other night, it was like a 30-point game. Like, play some dignity. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because when we came into the season, I think Marcus Morris, didn't he leave a comment like this is gonna be like the fighting Knicks, or like the it's gonna be like
try to say something encouraging.
A fighting team. That makes me wonder like what Morris got paid to choose the Knicks over the Spurs, because the Spurs not doing great either. But I'm pretty sure
maybe he got paid a little more.
Yeah,
I don't know, man.
Yeah, the Knicks are in.
I just don't know what were their plans though. We knew they had no plan going in.
Yeah.
After you botched the whole free agency, the big sign you had was Randle.
Well, their plan was to be competitive. That's what they said when they came in.
But that's what they say every year.
But this season, actually, because like it was like highlighted because, okay, y'all was supposed to get KD and Kyrie. Right. They went across the bridge. So Absolutely. Then, you walk into the season, they like, okay, we still playing this year. This is not going to be another year of tanking. And here we are. They got like 4 wins. And
so they came out with a press conference like, this is not what we expected. What? Come on, man.
They're
trying to save face.
Also, there's the factor of, okay, we're playing in the East, and maybe like 35 wins will get us in this year. You know what I mean? Because for even 2 weeks ago when it's funny how things change. 2 weeks ago when we podcasted, they were still like in the picture playoff. Even at like 15th, they were still in the playoff picture. They were only like 3 or 4 games out of the 8th, and now I believe they're like 7 or 8. So
things in the East, things are kind of more or less kind of cemented as far as kind of like placement.
Yeah, it's getting to what we expected, because the Magic of taking over the 8th spot, like that's what we had them. Every team that's in the Eastern playoffs right now is what what you would expected. Other teams that we were looking at, Cleveland's falling. Trae Young, they getting their ass smacked too without John Collins. So yeah,
they're starting to be like a dip between like 8th and like everybody else.
Right. But continuing the Knicks slander, like I wonder, I really feel like if they weren't in New York, like that franchise would have folded by now. Because there's no excuse. The
only thing they're leading on is that they're the Mecca.
Say what?
The only thing they're leading on is that they're the Mecca.
Yeah, so you're saying it's the Mecca.
That's it.
Eric
Hornets
says
still alive.
Hornets said the Hornets at least say competitive this year.
But Hornets got MJ behind them. So.
Yeah, they're not folding no time soon. And also the Hornets, like they're competitive this year. That's all I'm saying.
It's the Garden, man.
Because like the Knicks went. I know we mentioned it on the podcast before, but it's baffling when you say like, okay, 99 they went to the finals. All of the 2000s they were bad, pretty much. You had the Isaiah Thomas era. Nothing happened until they got Carmelo. Yeah, the Isaiah Thomas era, right? Yeah. That's something of itself. The Isaiah Thomas era kind of wild. Then you get Carmelo at the beginning of the 2010s and have a couple of good seasons, and then they've been bad ever since. Like, damn, bro, this franchise would legitimately have folded anywhere else other than New York. And yeah, so when you're a fan of a team like this too, like if you're a Knicks fan, you have a pass to like bolt at a certain point, right? When your franchise is just dog shit forever. Because I get the whole thing about ride until you die or whatever, ride or die with your team. But if my team is like never even like don't even ever have a form, like I'm bouncing.
No,
bro.
they're literally these Knicks fans are literally depressed out here.
Yeah, like I get the loyalty thing, but like, bro, I'm 24 years old right now. Like if something major happened like the next year and the Celtics don't even like put anything like decent together for like the next 10 or 20 years of my life, I'm out, bro. I'm out.
That's crazy, man. I don't know. Yeah, you do get a pass. I think you got a 10-year, 5-year pass.
Yeah.
5 to 7 years.
Because you stick with your team through tough times, but some things are more than tough times. Right. Like the Kings since 2006 has been more than tough times. Like they always like 10th in the West. They never compare. They always at the bottom. I'm out, bro. So if I'm 40 and the Celtics, like if next year everybody get injured and like they don't even like look like they're making an effort for the next 20 years, bro. I'm out. When I'm 40, I'm gone. Like it's kind of. That's wild.
Yeah, I would have been left if I ain't waiting to 40, man.
Yeah, because I'm gonna stick to thick and thin until it's just like until it's just too bad, bro. Like
yeah, like but like it's more of a I think it's bigger than basketball when it comes to Mecca. It's just
because if you're a Knicks fan at this point, you just waited. You like, I know one day we're gonna have the glory days, and we're gonna
be. Just want to go to the Garden and experience the whole walk around.
And I can get that, yeah, because the Magic have been trash for a minute, but they have such a nice arena. Like I went to the game the other day, and it's just nice to be there, Like
you see all the banners and you look at the score, you're like, damn.
Speaking of banners, I got a picture of the fans banners for the Magic, because I was sitting up there.
It's 6, right?
It's just at 6. The fans right next to their two Eastern Conference Finals banners. Like,
fans.
Yeah,
that's depressing.
Did we ever talk about why they hadn't retired like T-Mac? Because that's the thing, right?
They have
because the problem is that they keep letting everybody wear number 1. Penny wore number 1. T-Mac wore number 1.
Yeah,
Isaac's wearing number 1 right now.
The reason that it actually came up to my mind is because y'all both been to the Magic Arena, of course. They have like the little history section, and they have the Magic Hall of Fame, and they got like a plaque for T-Mac.
Yeah,
so I'm like,
the Magic Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I'm saying, okay, so it's the Magic Hall of Fame, and you got a plaque for this guy and his number right there, but you don't got his jersey retired. Like,
well, I think
what's
they don't stay with a team that long.
Yeah, he was there for 4 years.
Because remember, he was only there for 4 years.
Well, okay,
Shaq's not retired.
Yeah,
come on, man.
And I get your point about the little amount of years, but I'm like, y'all got to get on the board, bro.
Yeah,
like,
I think Dwight's gonna end up getting retired.
Oh, you think Dwight's gonna get retired in Orlando?
Yeah, because his image changing.
Yeah, and he was there for about.
Because I didn't blame him for leaving. It was just the way he left.
Yeah, and he was there from 04 to 12.
We went to the finals.
By the time he retired, it'd be all love.
Yeah, and plus,
Penny should have been at least Shaq at least.
Because I went to the finals with Shaq but so did Dwight.
But it seemed like how they leave.
Yeah, because everyone has a bad breakup, right? Yeah. Like it's always a bad breakup.
I'm not worth the $100 million.
Yeah, and then T-Mac would have betrayed. So
his knees gave out. And like, I'm leaving, and T-Mac hated it here.
Yeah.
So.
But he chose it. Well, but he thought he was gonna have Grant Hill and Tim Duncan too.
Grant
so
Hill left his ankles behind.
Plan just completely fell.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, they got this. You got Darryl Armstrong in there. I don't know why all these people, but when I see everybody weigh number 1, like, that's never gonna happen.
Yeah, that's true. It's too many. Yeah, I was just trying to get the Magic on the board, bro. Because when I was up there and I just seen the fans, I'm like, this is pitiful, bro. It would be so nice to see Shaq's jersey.
If Tony Allen
got
his jersey retired, you can get somebody in Magic get his jersey retired.
Yeah, I think again, I guess it's a franchise by franchise thing. Because with Tony Allen, obviously he's not like some crazy player, but he embodied everything
culture,
yeah. Yeah, it's a team by team thing.
Nick Anderson,
the Cavs got like the Cavs got Ilgauskas retired. You know, he was good, but like, damn, that's a retired jersey. Like, yeah, I don't know, but okay, cool. So we started off with some good old New York Knicks slander, and you know, we got some of the Magic in there. Not really slander, but just wondering about their jersey situation. So. Yeah, the Knicks have fired Fiz Dale. We got that news right beforehand. And,
so the assistant coach can do a better job. I don't understand. I don't understand why they fired coaches. Like.
Yeah, I actually got sidetracked from that point. When I think it was a YouTuber SDC I was listening to, and when they were talking about how they were setting the stage for firing Fiz Dale, but I'm like, what is that gonna do? You know, because the thing with the team like the Knicks, right? Unless he's lost the team or something like that, or. You know, or it's like a toxic environment. This is actually a good coach you have, so why not keep him like through? You know, until you can try to build something.
I mean,
you know what
and
I mean?
They fired the owner, but
James Dolan, dog shit owner.
So.
Yeah, but if you would keep if you would at least keep a state, because I don't know how many coaches they've ran through in the last few years. I don't even keep count of that if they've had a lot. But it's like if you're trying to build something, you have a good coach finally. You know y'all gonna suck. Y'all don't have really a great team. You just got a bunch of random pieces. Keep them around. Actually let RJ Barrett develop, you know, over the next few years, and but that's not, you know, that's too legit.
Yeah, it's not really, it's not wise to get like a rookie player. You're trying to teach him how to play the game. He can have different coaches. So.
Yeah, that, and he's playing on a team with a bunch of guys who probably like Marcus Morris. Like, I just don't see, like, if you're a team you know you're gonna be bad, like, fam, let your rookie develop. Like, you know,
they
just
got
play.
Like nothing but powerful, nothing but guards. They got like 8 guards.
And thank God they're not on Christmas Day this year. Like, you know, I normally like watching the Mecca on Christmas Day. You know, but that's a tradition.
We're not gonna have a Christmas Day game.
Always the Knicks. They always on Christmas. Yeah.
They ain't been good in a decade. I don't understand it.
That's the big hoopla. Is we always wonder, like we always ask, why are the Knicks on TV this year? Why are they on Christmas?
I didn't know the heck. I mean, I guess we'll be missing that.
And so
the same way how Dallas is always on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, for football. Yeah, the Knicks are just always there.
I know why Dallas.
Like, remember last year?
I don't understand why, but I understand why.
And last year the Knicks had they played the Bucks, so it's just like New York Christmas Day, like no matter what. But at the beginning of this season, I was like, okay, the Knicks actually had some recognizable faces on the team. I was like, this is the year they don't give them a Christmas Day game. But the way this season has turned out, I'm glad they're not playing on Christmas. We already have enough duds on Christmas Day. I
never knew that.
Yeah, always.
Raptors just got one. It's crazy.
So that. We can go two places because we just talked about the Knicks and we're talking about Christmas. Yeah, okay, so we'll go here from Christmas because I was mentioning the dud games. Yeah, we have subjects here. So the dud games on Christmas, we can pretty much solidify now. The Warriors and Rockets, the Pelicans and Nuggets. And I say we already know the Warriors and Rockets, why that's a dud. As a matter of fact, they've taken the Warriors like 3 ESPN games from them, something like that.
So they can't take the Christmas game?
No.
Too much money involved, I guess.
That and the fact that you have...
Because it's not a fact... The ESPN is about like who's broadcasting it. So it's not necessarily about like moving the game, but like they're not gonna switch around the schedule for that.
And also on Christmas Day, like it's only a certain amount of games, so like it's not like there's no league pass games going on Christmas Day, so it's like you can't take the Warriors off TV. You know what I mean?
Okay, so it's different from it's not gonna view it on ESPN.
Yeah, okay. Like the Warriors ESPN games they took from them, that's just soft. Nobody watching that shit, bro. No, on Christmas Day. I mean, I like watching Eric Pascal, but that's not a Christmas game.
That's crazy.
Yeah, he was doing good in the Magic game. They got a gem in him because when they're healthy next year, they're gonna have him and another draft pick, and the Warriors gonna be nasty next year. Pascal can play. If y'all haven't watched I don't know if it's Pascal or Pascal. I keep calling him two different things.
Pascal.
I've heard both things at this moment.
I don't know how you spell it. I just want to hear people say Pascal.
Anyways, y'all will know his name next year for sure because he's like leading the rookies in like multiple stats. Yeah, he's fire. But the second dud game, the reason I bring up the Pelicans and Nuggets, because I'm sure you guys heard that Zion's 6 to 8 week thing is not accurate anymore, right? His little knee surgery, that window, that's not an accurate.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, so Zion apparently.
I thought they were gonna shut him down regardless. I didn't know that he actually was trying to come back.
Yeah, we've been saying
granted, it's just I don't know as far as this season, but I feel like are we just gonna wrap him in bubble wrap and just pray nothing happens?
Are they saying it was some complications in recovery?
No. So what they're saying is it was
just taking it slow.
Yeah, there was a game this week and they were like, because we just passed the 6 week mark of his surgery, so we like where you at, bro? What's good? Yeah, and Rachel Nichols comes on TV and says that the team is saying he turned a corner and he's been going through this week. He turned a corner in his rehab and he's going through some light workouts. However, the team is being really cautious with him and that that 6 to 8 week timeline to gave him, nah, like we're gonna take it, we're gonna bring him back whenever we want to. That's what they're saying. Yeah, and I don't blame them. I'm selfish. I wanted him to play on Christmas Day.
Ingram is good, so let him.
No, I think they're making the right decision long term.
Yeah, because the thing is, people were acting like I was crazy, tweeting it earlier this year. Like, as soon as he had the surgery, I was like, okay, this looks like a red shirt to me. Now, they've already gone on and said, you probably didn't hear this, he's not going to play back-to-backs this year if he does play. Like, they didn't say if he does play, but they're saying, no, he's not playing back-to-back. Okay. But people, his career probably going to be low management, more than likely.
Absolutely.
I mean, probably at least for this year, be like Embiid, his first year where he only played 30 games.
Yeah. But people were acting like I was crazy, and I was like, do y'all understand the situation they have with Zion? Like, I heard somebody phrased it perfectly. I can't remember who, but they were like, if the Pelicans didn't draft Zion this year, if they didn't end up with that pick, like, what were they going to do? What was their franchise going to do?
Right.
Because, nobody... You had Anthony Davis for 7 years and nothing came of it, and then who would go to a New Orleans game if there was no, amazing draw, you know what I mean, for these next few years? So they have to wrap him in bubble wrap. And at this point, they're probably falling out of the Western Conference playoff picture. So why would you bring him back? Like, I don't.
You got a lot of money invested in him.
Money and future and everything. You had
to be for 10 years. Right?
Absolutely, you had AD for 7 years, and you tried. They tried. They got DeMarcus Cousins, tried to get something to come of it. Nothing came of it, and so now you got a second chance with Zion, and you got a good young core now too. Like, this is a core we were talking about as an AC maybe if they were healthy, but healthy they are not. And Zion, they're saying They're just being slow with it. That's all they're saying with him. So I don't believe he's coming back, though. I don't believe he's coming back. I don't see a reason for him to come back. Would y'all want him to come back still, though? Like, do y'all? You said no?
No.
Nah. You just don't even bother with this season.
I know what the plan is. I don't want him to re-injure anything, and you're not really playing for no playoff position.
Right.
Because my thing is kind of agreeing with Eric is that if they haven't, mitigated the other issues that led to the injuries, then I don't really want you to just throw him out there.
Yeah, and D Rose actually chimed in on it. I didn't
perfect person to chime in.
Right? Yeah, he's expert on these at this point. But D Rose said that earlier in his career, he said he actually had like not a weight problem, but he's saying like he feels like he should have been lighter or whatever to protect his knees, and he thinks Zion is with his weight is obviously going to be a huge problem for his knees down the road. Wasn't roll like 180? Yeah, see that I didn't really get I didn't understand that because I don't know.
He's about before the injuries or after the injuries? He thought he should have been.
I thought he might have been at the 2s at one point.
D Rose was in the 2s? Because he's sick. Yeah, I mean, that would make sense. He's like 6 something, so like.
Yes. Yeah, probably, maybe. But like a heavy guard is like John Wall. He sits at like 200, 210, 200 at most. 190 to 200.
Yeah, so he brought weight into the conversation. He's
he was super slim though. Right?
Yeah, he was like Zion got to trim that, and if they take this season to like maybe rework his body, get it so like because
I'm assuming he's gonna drop some weight.
Yeah,
he might come back at like 260, 255. Hopefully.
Which again makes me wonder how that's going to translate to his game, just because his weight was like one of his biggest assets. Like,
well, is it? Y'all know the body well. Like, is it possible to keep the power and strength?
The thing is that whether it's someone 285, 265. Like, when you get hit with that, you still got hit.
Well, yeah, I mean, and that's true. But when you talk about a player who relies so heavily on that because his jump shot is not great, and that's a big part of you pounding down low. It's like I think you want to hold on to as much of that as you can, because you're undersized too for a power forward. You're kind of small, so you down there with guys like Gobert, who he was using his power against in the preseason in that one game.
Yeah, you're right. I don't know.
I mean, granted, it has to find the right balance because you don't want to have too much weight to where you get injured, but you also have to have enough where you can still keep some of his core.
But it seemed like he was a healthy, in shape 285. Like, fat,
if you see him in certain pictures, maybe it looked like he was a little bit bigger. Now he looks huge. Like now that he's been out and he's not, he had knee surgery, he looked like he got huge. So that's another problem. Like his weight looks like it's ballooned, since he's been injured. So it's like, bro, just sit him out this season.
New Orleans cuisine.
Yeah, bro, just sit
some more cup of gumbo, bowl of gumbo.
At this point, I'm used to being disappointed when I come into a season with injuries. So it's like, bro, just sit him out.
He'll start looking like that meme picture. The bald version of him.
Yeah, 40. Zion when he 40.
Yeah,
more like Zion when he 20. We wish the best for Zion. If you need to take this year off, bro, whatever. Pelicans not winning shit this year anyway. So
plus they got a good distraction. They got Ingram.
Now that's interesting, you know, because Ingram is like, first of all, he's in the most improved player conversation this year. And the thing is, even when I was watching Ingram and Zion in the preseason, I was like, you know, Ingram liked to shoot a lot. He liked to do his thing. So I really wonder how it's gonna be like when Zion does come back, because like Zion was, you know, what was he up to, like 27 points a game when he was playing?
It might be a Kyrie Tatum thing.
Right, yeah, because that was what I'm saying. Like when now you got to add another mouth to feed when I come back, and it's a young team too. Yeah, I don't know, bro. But Ingram is really nice.
Yeah, they definitely have some questions down the road.
I mean, it's a good problem to have if you're the Pelicans, because at least you like when you're the Pelicans and your question is like, you know, how do we make this talent fit, and not like, do we have talent? I guess that's a good problem to have if you're the Pelicans. So, and it's two young guys, you know, duo, all that type stuff. So, good luck, Pels. We will probably see you in Zion next year. Where I was going to go when we were talking about the Knicks on Christmas Day. Oh yeah, that's right. The Knicks reminded me of Carmelo Anthony has actually got his deal guaranteed. He went ahead and got his
hey.
The Blazers went ahead and locked him up for the year, and I got his numbers right here since he came back. Melo's been hooping, bro.
He definitely has.
He's played 8 games. He's averaging 17 points a game. I hit that right on the head. I said that's what I thought he was going to be around. It's around 45% efficiency, which is his best mark since 2014. God damn. Let's see. And he is averaging 6 rebounds too. So
what's his 3-point shot? That's pretty
39%. So for a guy like, you know, you don't ask him to play any defense. Obviously, he's 35. He never played defense before.
Portland's just trying to shoot people out anyway.
Exactly. Yeah, but for, you know, you needed another front court offensive guy. He's doing exactly what you wanted, and so he had like,
and he's been a good surge, because if you think of where they were standings wise before they signed him to where they are now.
Exactly.
They're actually to the point where they can actually, you know, get back into a playoff seeding.
They're only 2 games out of the 8th right now.
8-9 right now.
Yeah, and they're staring at, I think, maybe like the Suns and the Timberwolves probably. So those are teams.
Suns 8th right now.
Yeah, I think it's either them or the Timberwolves. Yeah, but they're staring at teams that, you know, they're very vulnerable. So Melo's done exactly what you wanted him to do. And it just shows how important roles are in the NBA, because you playing in Houston and like they just like shoot threes every time you get the ball. That didn't really work out for him. And then they also, of course, they needed him to be better in that defensive scheme. You go to Portland where, you know, defense is not really in the vocabulary, and they can actually just give him the ball in the mid post and just let him go to work.
Yeah, because Melo's never been a catch and shoot shooter, which is what Houston wanted him to do.
That's all they wanted him to do.
Versus in Portland, it's more so like get some offensive load off of
he don't hold the ball this much.
Lillard and McCollum, so that like when they're out, they're not just, you know, looking wild.
And he's looked like he accepted that role too, because Lillard and McCollum, there's possessions where Melo don't really get the ball or whatever, but you know, when it comes to him, he just go to work and do his thing.
He went on TV with Stephen A. and said, "Yo." So that means he had to change.
Yeah, because he would have looked crazy after that interview, talking about how he could still play. If he would have came in and he was right now averaging like 10 points or some 9 points on like 35%, like he would have looked crazy. So
he studied along, because he that first game when he dropped like 28, 25, it could have went to his head like, yo, I need the ball all the time.
Oh yeah,
but he's still chilling. He's still doing his thing.
There's no way after being out of the NBA a year, like you humbled after that. You know, after you've been a superstar, and you get put out for a year.
I'm also surprised that he took a year off and still can.
Yeah, that again, this early, right? 8 games. 8 games. He's been contributing in most of them. You know, his first game was pretty much like yikes, but then it's like, okay, you know, working it, and there was no Lillard.
It was killing Lillard.
That's his cardio wasn't there,
and there was no Lillard. So I was like, let's wait until that was my first comment.
Playing? Or
he's back. Okay. He's been back. He's been back. So that's why it's, you know, you got 3 legitimate you know, go-to guys right now, and they had guys scoring in double digits, but you need that, you know, you get the ball to Lillard, get the ball to McCollum, and Melo so far is
there a little bit about
okay.
Is there a time frame for when they get Nurkic back?
Oh gosh, who knows, man? His leg snapped.
He's chilling the whole year.
I can look it up, but I mean, I think they're playing it by ear with him, because he did that at the end of last year. That was like, you know, March or something like that. I hadn't even moved yet, so that was like March when he did that. Even when they do get him back, like I'm not sure how much you're hoping for a guy who snapped his leg to come back and like really boost you. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because there's a whole confidence and mental thing. But okay, yeah. So you know, we love. I'm really happy Melo came and capitalized on his opportunity. That's when preparation meets opportunity. Then they gave him Player of the Week in the Western Conference. What did y'all think about that in a week where you had Luka averaging like 30 something, you had Harden averaging like 40 something?
It was a culture reward.
Culture reward for the culture.
I think that's the only way you can phrase it, because granted, they were undefeated that week, but I mean, regardless if Houston and Dallas lost the game, like if you look at their numbers, like they're like double what he was putting up. So.
Yeah, like Harden had
47.
Harden had like 50 and 60. No, he had 60 that week. Whatever it was.
But it was more though, just to be like, yo, I'm still out here.
Yeah,
it was for the culture. That's all it was.
My whole thing is it was funny to see the outrage because I congratulated him. I was like, yo, the fact that he was even considered for Player of the Week after everything that's happened in the last year. I tweeted out, I was like, the world got to kind of be silent right now, you know, because like it don't matter. Yes, clearly Luka and Harden deserve it over him, but the fact that he's even considered at all, he even put himself in that hat is a big deal for him. And then the other thing is, it's a Player of the Week. Who gives a fuck? Like,
but Dom, you gotta realize that people nowadays will use any excuse to increase their blood pressure.
Yeah, right. Yeah, if you're just seeking shit out to make them mad, it's like. The Player of the Week is the thing that happens like when somebody tries to use it as a, you know, to pump their player up. Most of the time people be like, oh, who cares? Like, you know, it's Player of the Week. Like
3 games, fam.
Yeah,
come on, relax.
Yeah, nobody else played this week. Like most of the time people don't care, and then Melo got it, and they're like, oh, Harden. Like nobody cares, bro. Like I can't tell you how many Player of the Weeks anybody has. Like LeBron probably got like 1 million of them bitches. I don't know.
Only thing I think people are paying attention to the month. I think the month dictates the MVP.
Player of the month. Player of the month.
You getting like 10 of them
in a week.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, this is just me personally. I've never gotten to the end of the year and seen that used as the argument, like for the MVP.
I guess you can see where it's going if you see like Giannis got, 15 Player of the Month or whatever.
People gonna be like, yeah, that time Harden didn't get Player of the Month, Player of the Week or whatever.
He edged him out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that one time Melo got it.
Right.
That's
funny. I was happy. Same as hypothetically if Rose had Player of the Week, I'd be
absolutely
tear up around this man.
Yeah. Yeah, we started this off Melo, coming back saying that he was not going to fix the Blazers' problems. I still, adhere to that. I don't think he's necessarily fixed their problems, but he's definitely aided them. He's aided them getting back to the playoffs. But at the end of the day, it's not going to.
Plus.
Yeah, they're not going to be a Western Conference Finals team or anything again. They're not going to be a great team, but absolutely, he's aided them with what he needed.
I'd be happy if he gets back to the playoffs. That's all I care. Get destroyed the first round, but the fact that he's back in the playoffs.
They got to play the Lakers. They play the Lakers tonight, actually. Yeah, that's going to be a good one.
So the reunion, him and LeBron.
Yeah, play the Lakers in the first round and got to switch on to LeBron. Like, that comparison is wild when you think about LeBron and Melo in the same draft, and then you see them on the court together tonight, and it's like one is like significantly slower than he once was.
And I think that hurts. For some reason, that hurts Melo because he gave the draft for LeBron.
You think it hurts him like mentally?
Yeah, how he's perceived, like fam.
Nah, I don't think so.
He's the same draft LeBron. Look at this man, he can't even get a draft.
No, it's just
I don't know, man.
Just like you're like comparing players to like LeBron's body ain't normal.
Yeah, it's LeBron. We don't know what LeBron made of, bro. Like in my last video when LeBron, it was like doing flops or whatever, and like he pushed Lance Stevenson. I was like, LeBron's not Thor, but then I thought to myself like, well, damn, actually I don't know though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like it's nobody has to feel bad because they didn't live up to LeBron's bar. Like LeBron's bar is like
I know.
You could work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and not be anywhere near as talented as LeBron. Like he just wake up like levels above people, bro.
Yeah, man.
We do not all come to this world equal. That's some horse shit. Like that is some horse shit. Okay, so yeah, Melo got Player of the Week. That's pretty much all the Knicks tree branches. I guess we can go ahead and start getting into the real interesting thing, which is the rule changes, which we have never even discussed anywhere because this all happened pretty much after the last podcast where they were talking about all the rule changes that they're trying to implement into the NBA, and I wrote them down because it gets confusing.
Very confusing.
Mainly because the NBA hasn't even actually officially said anything. This has all been just like stuff that's floating out there. So they're talking about like having a winter tournament between all 30 teams participating and possibly the winner of that tournament getting an extra draft pick.
Apparently that's the dead time of the NBA.
Yeah. Like right now, like people probably not even tuning in yet. A lot of people. Reseeding the conference finals so that instead when you get to the conference finals, it goes by seed. The seeds play each other. You know what I mean?
The last 4 teams.
Yeah, the last 4 teams. Yeah, and they reseed that so that you could end up with something like a West-West finals. And then the last, I wrote down the significant things. Last significant thing is the play-in for the the seeds 7 through 10. So like you would have like the 7th and 8th seed play each other, and the 9th
That's
and 10th
a waste
seed.
of damn time. Let me just say that.
Okay, I like that. Okay, so let's go ahead and start discussing these. Basically,
you really want to watch the Magic play like Charlotte for like the 8th seed?
That's
like
the NFL equivalent of a wild card game. You know, it's a wild card. It's like
you gotta realize that NFL there's only 16 games. In NBA there's 82. I think you can figure out who's making the playoffs off of that.
You might be a 7 seed and you think you safe. Well, you're not. Cause you got how far go down? 9 and 10, right?
Yeah, it goes on to the 10. So it's from 7 to 10. Yeah.
So you got like a 10 seed can make the playoffs. Like hypothetically,
you realize
for example,
a 7
Lakers
seed?
last year when LeBron came back and let's say he won on the tear, he was a 10 seed. He could have made the playoffs. He would have beaten this, you know what I mean? So I like it. It's a wild card. That means you have to play. You got to take these games seriously. I like that aspect of it. I don't know if the wins and losses are gonna like. Okay, yeah, this team's trash. They ain't gonna be better seeds. But I like the fact you have a wild card option.
But I'm saying that hypothetical, I can see it working. But if it's just a typical 7 to 10 teams, like. That's not high value basketball that people want to watch.
Break it down and how they're going to actually do the nitty gritty of it. But I like the fact you have because I'm not an AC, I still have an option though. I can still get in this. Well, I like those type of. You know, you watch the other teams win and lose. Like, oh crap, I got to pay these guys. You might have a trash team that's feisty. Like, damn, they might can pull a win off. So you might have, some people don't like dealing with those teams. They trash, but they might.
You mean those teams like you would hate to see them in the first round type shit? Yeah.
You might have those. Like for example, like remember the Nuggets and the Timberwolves that last game.
Yeah,
like, come on,
that was cool.
Yeah, if they had another shot, they probably would have gotten in the playoff. Based off the seeding of this new system. So I do like some aspects of this. Yeah. This weird little.
I mean, there's multiple things to it, right? Because this also, I'm blanking right now on how this encourages teams not to tank. I'm completely fucking blanking right now because I had this whole thing going for yesterday. In one way, it does encourage teams not to tank. I just cannot remember exactly how right now.
The seeding?
Yeah, the 7 through 10 thing because of where a team might end up. I had that whole thing fucking written down. Whatever.
I mean, are you sure? I mean, to a certain extent, but 11 through 15 tend to be like the worst teams in the league. So I mean, like if you're like in that like range, you could be like, oh, my seeding doesn't really matter as long as I don't become a 10th seed, and then just hope for the tournament.
A combination with all this plus how the draft work, this should also it should discourage tanking. The fact that you're not a guarantee that you can get a hot pick, and plus this tournament thing, and you still have a chance to get in the playoffs. Yeah, they're doing a good job at trying to
Yeah, my mind is just completely blank from what I had. Well, it was just a thing. There was something very specific about the 7 to 10 that discourages tanking, but it'll probably come back to me. Yeah. But I think the other cool thing about this is, look, all right, people complain about the regular season, man. They say it's boring. They say it's pointless. They say all these things about it.
But they let that happen.
What do you mean?
They let that narrative happen. That narrative didn't exist in 2010. Before 2010, that narrative didn't exist.
But this came from LeBron.
Oh yeah, how?
Because he takes breaks. He only play in June, so he takes breaks through the season. He don't care about.
Talking about when he used to rest, because now he says he's playing all 82 games. So now that's a
main narrative. Now everybody took piggyback, and now it's a real thing.
Because the people pushed it.
Yeah.
Okay.
All his little his supporters like, well, he don't play.
Because you gotta remember his teams will always go off to like questionable start and be like, oh, it don't matter, it's regular season.
Exactly. Right. And that's a real thing now.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, the media treats it that way. The fans treats it that way. I remember back when I believe 2008 or 2007, one of the years of the Detroit Pistons lost, and I remember Rip Hamilton or Chauncey Billups getting up there like, yeah, we didn't win the championship this year. Shit was a total failure. Like no matter what you did during the season, they don't care if they were an all-star. You led the league in this. They were like, bro, we didn't win the championship this year. We failed flat out, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, maybe some of the proposals we have right here aren't the full answers, but I appreciate the NBA trying to do something to actually spruce up the regular season and make it matter. Because let's be real, by the time we get to around March or April, we're kind of tired of the league a little bit, like the regular season games. We're ready for playoff basketball, and maybe it's just recency bias because the last few years we've had the Warriors, and I'm like, fuck this shit by the time we get to April. I'm bored. I already know what's going.
Right.
Because we haven't had a lot of parity lately.
Yeah, and this year we have total parity, so I'll still be excited by the time that comes around. But some of these changes that I've read, I got to pull it back up. A lot of these are trying to make something of the regular season where Yeah, again, players like Kawhi right now are treating it like it don't matter. You know what I mean? They'll rest it.
I think he just don't care about anybody.
Yeah, like he straight up said he used this shit as practice, and so maybe he needs to rest because of his leg or whatever. Yeah. But other players too will just take a game off and rest it. Be like, I don't need this.
So are we playing less games now or more?
Well,
games?
That's the thing. Something with the tournament, actually, depending on what happens with the tournament or whatever, one of these, either play into the tournament, it'll mean that a team can play anywhere from like 78 to 82 games, depending on what happens with it with their tournament thing. So so some teams will have like 78 games played, and another team will have more. And I'm not sure if I'm not. Again, this is so confusing because all this stuff. There's so much stuff that's floated around. I'm not sure. Like when you look at Basketball Reference, like are the 20 games going to count as like the regular season?
So one team has won World Cups.
Yeah,
championship types.
Adam Silver apparently has always been influenced by like soccer league or something.
Yeah,
like that.
They got a lot of different tournaments.
Right. Yeah. Now the play-in again. I like the idea of the play-in because I mean the thing is I feel like everyone's been negative toward this, but when you talk about these, didn't we say like years ago when we was having this first conversation, we were like, wouldn't it be cool if they had to battle for the last seed or something like that? Didn't we say that? Like I swear that was a conversation.
Yeah.
And I thought we thought it was cool when the Wolves and Nuggets had to play each other for that. Was it the Wolves and Nuggets? It was them, right?
Yeah, the Wolves. I thought Wolves and Nuggets.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought that was a really cool thing. So just trying to add some meaning to it, but I can also get the perspective of a couple of people.
Yeah, I got to know the Zach plan because in-season tournament, how many games would
okay, well that's play? The play-in. There's two different things. So the in-season tournament, that they're trying to make something of like the actual divisions in the league because divisions are meaningless, bro. Like you
it's
hang
not like NFL where divisions mean something.
Yeah, like you get laughed at. You walk in your gym and you got division banners hanging up. Like nobody, you hang division banners. You know what I mean?
Division barely.
Pacific champions.
Divisions rarely matter unless you're actually like tied with someone else in your division.
Exactly. Yeah. So there with this tournament again, I've heard like 4 different versions of this damn tournament. Like now it's supposed to be a winter tournament. So it would include all 30 teams and it would like, include divisions in some way, trying to make those important. Now, here's my problem with the tournament. First of all, James Harden's already came out. He's like, what is this, college basketball? Like players already don't really like this idea of it. But I can clearly see this thing being broken down into classes where like it becomes like a punchline. Like, yeah, you won the in-season tournament, but like, nigga, you weren't even in the playoffs by the time the playoffs came around. You know what I mean? Like, what if because of the way they're playing each other, like you end up with a weird in-season tournament champion? You know what I mean?
Well, I don't believe it's for us. It's for people that's 5-10 years from now. They'll probably appreciate it more because we saw it grow. So that's ain't nothing.
I'm saying though, like
the next generation,
I can already see the disrespect this tournament will get. Though,
like it's early, so of course we're gonna clown it. But I think
like you won the tournament cup, but like
the thing is like because the thing is a tournament makes sense in NCAA because there's hundreds of teams, multiple divisions. Multiple conferences, so it makes sense because there's so many teams. But like, I just don't know how it fits.
I just think we more appreciate it down the line, not for us.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I just feel like it'll look like a participation trophy because again, this will be a winter tournament, so this gonna be like November, December.
But it counts to wins to your season, don't it?
See,
apparently,
does it?
But yeah, it does. Yeah, because it's built into the season.
I have a question. If it does happen where like teams are playing different numbers of games, how does that affect your overall record for like your season?
Yeah, that was my question earlier.
If you're not playing the same number of
games.
was
my question. Again, I do want to reiterate, even for people listening, that there's so many proposals that have been floated around now. The NBA hasn't actually officially commented on any of this, so none of this is even set. So they're trying to figure out things. We're talking about stuff they're trying to figure out.
The tournament counts as wins, like it means more win than
if
we playing uneven games.
From the top of my head, it does count. Important. Yeah, from the top of my head, it does count. And but we didn't even mention this with the tournament too, because the wins are gonna count. Like they build it within the season. You know what I mean? They build it within the season, and the games are scheduled like by division or whatever. But also the idea that's played around with is the winner of that tournament. Not just a trophy, you get a extra draft pick. Now, how exactly that would work?
Do not know.
I mean, it depends on what they're gonna be 61 picks or like
third round.
Yeah, the team gets an extra draft pick.
Because if it's like a first round pick, that's like that's kind of big.
Yeah,
especially and then you're getting, and then also it's gonna be one of the better teams that's gonna get it versus people that really need other teams are like
see that's you just brought up a good point. That would be fucked up. Like what if the Lakers this year won an extra pick because they won the in-season tournament
and then they go ahead and flip and they flip it for for more pieces versus people like
I think that extra pick, the
Knicks need more help than anybody.
I think that extra pick would have to probably fall like really late or something. It'd have to be like a tag along so that you don't end up going hard for this No. Sorry, it would have to depend on like what your team record ends up being at the end. I think because like what if you end up with 67 wins? Well, because you won the in-season tourney, now you get a top like 20 pick or something like that.
Yeah,
that's wild as hell.
It's a lot of moving parts. It's just hard to grasp all this stuff.
They would probably do it according to the record.
But I don't mind. I want to see something. We always wanted something like this.
Yeah,
something new to the game.
I think that would incentivize the organization. Now the players are expendable. With most players, like a star player would care about the tournament then, because if you're a star player on the team, you probably
think so?
No, because that's what I'm saying. If it's a pick, if a pick is on the line and you're a star player and you're probably under contract for this team for years, like you're trying to get some more help on this squad, you know what I mean? And depending on how they calibrate that pick, if you're a bad team, then you get a higher pick or whatever. Star player will probably care about that because he's going to be there for a while. Say like Anthony Davis on the Pelicans from the past years. If he knows he can win an in-season tourney and possibly get himself some help for years to come, like I think that actually matters to him more than a role player who's just going to be there and might get traded. You get what I mean with that?
Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah, and it incentivize the organizations to even be participating in this and not resting their players and stuff like that. Because now the organization wants to see all out there playing because their future's on the line.
So was Harden for it?
Harden was like, "What is it?" As far as I think it was Harden. He was like, "What is this, college?" Like,
so I just think them players of that type of mentality will go against. So I don't think they participate in these tournaments.
And that was before the little pick thing was
about the draft.
Oh, and again, it's not about not participating in the tournament. Again, it's kind of it's built into the season.
Oh, so, it's an obligation.
Yeah. It's like you're playing these games, and it's just like this is part of a tournament. Like you're playing a division rival or whatever. Like it's part of this.
Yes, I didn't know. I thought it was part of like if you. Yeah, I didn't know.
Yeah, no, they're not gonna stop play as far as I know. When like have
and so these must count for wins in like
they
real
do.
record,
Yeah. I
just don't go to a point system like hockey and soccer where we get draws. At least I want a tournament, so I get an extra win. I don't want none of that crazy.
Right.
I still want wins and losses. Man.
I feel you. Again, I appreciate the NBA just trying to make something of it because Low Legend of Winning, he brought up a good point. He's like every 20 years, like the NBA try to come up with something, a little bit more innovative to push the game forward. And right now, our problem has happened to be over the 2010s, the devaluation. That's not a word. Devaluation.
You can make it. It's
people
cool.
Devaluing the regular season, and so now they're trying to address that problem.
Well, they said the season start after December is when people pay attention.
Yeah, that's what they say too. But still, there's that thing of regular or somebody win the MVP. Oh, what did he do in the playoffs? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
man.
regular season never matters.
They come down on Harden every year about that.
What do y'all think about that?
I mean, that part of the issue is that they don't give it before the playoffs.
Yeah, they gotta give it an MVP.
But even when they used to, like Dirk looked crazy holding the trophy after he got sent home in game against the Warriors that year.
That's why you got.
That's on him.
That's what I do at the end of regular season. Don't do it before.
And I love it. No, I loved it when they actually gave it.
Yeah, because then it's like he's the MVP got skunked out.
Yeah,
when they did it at the end of the first round.
It was like the end of the first round.
They did it at the beginning of the first game. You can't. That look
wild. Because he had to. Mark Cuban had to give a speech and like they had to give a speech. Which
like, fam, I'm going home, dog.
Yeah, and that was the year. That was the year they had like 67 wins too.
It's the Warriors.
Yeah. That looked crazy as fuck.
That's crazy.
But yeah, I appreciate them. Oh yeah, I wanted to ask y'all, what do y'all think about that too? Because I talked a little bit about this too, about like the regular season. The only thing that matters is rings. Basically, that's the mentality. That's the mentality this league is taking on.
I want to know that narrative came from.
I mean, technically, MJ and Kobe fans.
Oh yeah.
I mean, technically, the only thing that matters is rings. You know what I mean? The mentality that we have.
I never. No. All right, let me chill. Go ahead.
You know.
You know where that came from, man.
No. You're talking about LeBron stands right now devaluing rings.
Yeah,
but I'm talking about everything that players do and the way the media treats it says that rings are the only thing that matters because it's the only thing anybody cares about at the end of the day. Nobody cares about who was MVP last year. Giannis was MVP, but Kawhi went and got the Finals MVP. You know what I mean? And he went and got the championship, so he was hailed. He was king. People were talking about him as the best player this summer. You know what I mean?
Okay, whatever. So your question is why people are overvaluing?
Well, I mean, just what y'all. I was just asking, what are y'all thoughts about how because just like the Pistons player that time.
I understand it. How I feel is what you. Yeah, it's not about you don't gotta. Of course somebody gotta lose, but this should be performance. You get close, fam. There's only one winner, man. I can't really. I'm not knocking a person because but you can't get to the playoff and you not looking the same.
Right.
That's all of my holy gripe on. You can't be,
because that's why people gave Kyle Lowry so much shit for those years.
Like I would never offend a Kyle because we know what time it is when time comes.
And he showed up when it came, though.
Like, absolutely.
But that's because he also had Kawhi nights.
But I mean, he showed up still, though. Like I can't credit Kawhi. That man worked, though.
I'm just saying. That's all it is your performance. I believe your performance should be the same in the regular and the playoffs.
Right.
You can't have a giant drop off, man.
Yeah, because
so I think that's what people say. Well, what you did in the playoffs? Yeah, if Harden was, I don't think Harden's a great example, but if a player like Giannis, he got chewed out a little bit. He came up short in the Raptors series.
Yeah, because that not being able to shoot consistently mattered at that point.
But that's the only thing. I'm not really tripping on like, oh, well, you didn't win. Like, fam, you're gonna be winning. One team gonna win, so you can't be tripping on that.
Right. Yeah,
it's your performance. That's all I care about.
All right. So yeah, I appreciate what the NBA is trying to do here because of that. Because of the way the league is right now, it's oriented toward what you did in the playoffs, and all these 82 games don't matter, and you can rest this game, and it don't matter what you did there. So like, I appreciate them trying to make something of that. Speaking of, so y'all know a little bit more about this because we're talking about technically NBA ratings and whatnot. What about the flex schedule that happens in football? Y'all know about that, right? Flexing schedules.
No, vaguely.
What do you mean by flex?
Changing, basically, like the football has the ability to like put a different game on TV if the other one looking fucked up, like if say on Sunday,
like viewership, like switch, like what you mean by
like on Sunday if these two teams were on schedule to play on the this TV station or whatever, but now that game looked fucked up for whatever reason.
When you say fucked up, what you mean like
maybe star player out or something like that. The teams aren't as good as you thought they were going to be, and so they show a different game or something like that, or they reschedule. I don't know if they reschedule it or not. Y'all know, because y'all are football people here. Y'all never noticed that?
I never saw that happen. I'm pretty sure it's real, but I never.
I mean, we're not football people here. I
never thought about thinking about viewership in that regard.
So let me get to let's say, man, Tom Brady out. Let's cut to the Browns and the Bengals game.
Yeah, people trying to watch the Patriots get smashed if Tom Brady out.
I want to stress none of us here. See right here. So like I type in NFL flex schedule. It says the Eagles and Cowboys won't end up on Sunday Night Football. So it's that type of thing where it's like they have like options basically. I guess. None of us are football people.
Yeah. I was years ago, but hey man, basketball maybe.
I only brought that up because of what the NBA did with the Warriors games and just taking it off. Straight taking it off ESPN.
Well, the Raiders getting hit, so I don't know.
Because my thing was, I figured that they probably did that anyway. They just weren't being like vocal about it. So
wait, did what?
As far as like, because determining like, I don't know how far in advance they have like what games they're gonna be putting on ESPN and Stone. So I figured that they kind of gauged it by what was happening night to night in people's records.
Yeah. I just thought it'd be nice if the NBA had some way to do something about shit, because this has been a problem with me for years, right? They schedule these games.
This is their first time doing this, right?
I don't know if it's their first time.
To your knowledge.
Yeah, no. I've seen I remember back when Derrick Rose was supposed to come back, back in his ACL season. I remember they upgraded one of the games to where people could actually watch it, maybe NBA TV or something like that, where it was just a league pass game first. But yeah, there's been a problem for years because they do the scheduling ahead of time, all this and what's going to be on TV. So the players get hurt like we have this year, and then those games are just stuck on TV. I just feel like it'd be nice if the NBA had the ability to, because you have a million league pass games going on the same night as like a TNT game. Like, if there was just some way, I'm not saying you're going to fly the TNT crew out to this league pass game, obviously, because that's way too much logistics to change. But like, damn, if the Suns and Pelicans are playing and Zion is not there, and then on the, on the league pass for some reason, like tonight, the Clippers and Bucks are on league pass for whatever reason. I have no clue why they're on league pass.
That's strange.
Instead of national TV.
That is strange.
But just as a hypothetical, like, it'd be nice if they could do something about that and like, okay, that matchup got fucked up. Let's put this one on TV instead. And maybe again, that because we have our ESPN and TNT crews, I guess that's a big part of it. Like Shaq and Ernie and them having their whole segment. For, I guess you can't just throw them to the back like that. Right. But yeah, I wish the NBA could do something with that, especially like during Christmas Day, where now if there's 5 matchups, 2 of them are garbage this year.
I want to know how to determine that. Cause I would assume Bucks and Clippers must
well, tonight, I think it has
all their games. I know the first one was.
Yeah, it was on TV. Tonight, I think it has something to do with probably obligation for teams, because like the Lakers and Blazers got the TV priority tonight. So maybe it's like a certain number of games you're supposed to have the Lakers on versus the Clippers or whatever. Because I guess it's something like that. But I was under the impression that the MVP and the Finals MVP, anytime their teams met, they should always be on that.
You got going on.
Yeah, right.
This must be seen.
But no, I don't know what they're doing with scheduling.
Like they should have never scheduled those two. If the Lakers had to be on TV tonight, they should have never scheduled the Clippers and Bucks with that. On the same.
Yeah, I thought it was more, professional. I thought like they knew all the games. They had like a whole team breaking it down.
Like you gotta have that. You gotta. You can't have two reigning MVP players on fucking League Pass. Right. That seemed like y'all trying to force people to buy League Pass, which just makes them stream instead.
Okay, yeah, you got a point.
Right. Find alternative methods. Yeah. Anyways,
I didn't think about that. You're right. You got a point.
I just wanted to get that out there. I wish the NBA could do something where they could change shit around. Obviously, no rescheduling games because the arena situation is a lot different.
Oh, yes, it is. Harden's Houston rescheduling their game.
Hey, well, that's exactly where I was going next. I swear to God, that was my next.
Hey, man.
The Rockets redo. Apparently this happened. I didn't know about this. The Heat and the Hawks in a year in a land before time. Apparently they had some type of redo thing, which I don't know how that's not a bigger deal. But what do y'all think about this whole situation with the Rockets and Spurs redo?
Well, first off, obviously that was a missed call with the Harden dunk. But the thing is that like they were up by like double digits.
It was 20.
It was 20.
Yeah, 20. Like 20.
Either way, they're up by double digits when it happened. Like you just gotta take care. You just gotta take care of business.
So yeah, the argument is okay. The Rockets end up losing that game by about 2 points.
Like the refs miss calls all the time. Like LeBron freaking traveled, and
let's be clear.
He got away with it.
Let's be clear.
Like, come on, like I mean. At the end of the day, you gotta play.
The refs fucked that one all the way up. Like the ball, he dunked it. It went in. Like it almost went in twice. And even James Harden thought he missed.
So
the dunk.
Couldn't replay that, right?
Well, apparently
it was like an unreviewable call because the play continued and the ball went out of bounds.
And time passed. Yeah, like too much time passed. You know how stupid that looked, right? Like
if they had called like a goaltending or like a basket interference, then it could have been like reviewed and be like, okay, yeah, we messed this up. But because of like the logistics of how it happened, they couldn't do anything about it.
See, that logistic thing is stupid, right? Because how crazy do you look like you the ref explaining now? We can't recall this. We can't review
this.
Even
though I know something.
No, not that. On the jumbotron behind you, you see the big ass play happening. Like you see the ball going in like on the dunk, but you like, oh yeah, no, we can't do nothing about that, fam. Like that shit being blasted all over the arena. You can clearly see he made the dunk.
That's crazy, man.
But what do y'all think about the actual? Because okay, now the Rockets have. I got like 5 notifications now. The Rockets have filed complaints and like.
Listen, let's check this out, right? They only did it because they lost by 2 points, even though you was up by 20 in the third quarter. Because you missed this layup, it dictate the whole game. That's free. I mean, you miss calling this dunk, it dictate the whole game. That's why Lonnie Walker dropped 28 on you because you missed. They didn't call the dunk right.
He hit all the clutch shots.
So you want to replay 7 minutes?
Yeah, and the logic is, no matter if we gave up that lead, there's still 2 points that clearly counted that didn't. They have from that point, from a technical standpoint, they have a good challenge. Like, fam, there's 2 points on this game that weren't counted that counted in this game. So now we get to challenge this, and you get to A, award us the win, or B, have us replay the last 7 minutes. That's the.
Yo,
I guess.
I'm sorry, but I'm sorry. If I'm the league, I'm like, this guy hold that out.
Oh my!
No, I think if you're the league, you have a stronger case to just be like, fuck off, because since you lost a 23-point lead, if it had been a close game the whole way out, and then the Rockets lose by 2, I think that maybe the NBA would look harder. Like if it was like
under 10, like 4 to 6 point game, and this happened, and then end it like
right,
but like you have an argument, but like because they had a league, they blew it. Game went to double overtime.
Yeah, so they had OT, one of those.
One of those. So
like without context, a person hearing this a little about the story, you think it was some buzzer beater dunk. You think it was a buzzer beater? Like, no, fan, they played a whole nother quarter after this.
Right. Now, how does this work though? Like a replay is happening, so they just meet one day and replay 7 minutes of the game, like, and they sell tickets to this shit? How does this work? I was like
Lonnie Walker, 28, yeah, don't count no more. Come on, man.
They take that off his historical record, like that. Yeah, but like, okay, do y'all actually know the logistics of a replay?
First of all, I didn't know it happened before.
Yeah, apparently this did, and I was trying to find like YouTube footage of the replayed Heat and Hawks game. Apparently that happened. I didn't see that shit. Like somebody posted.
Crazy.
Somebody sent me an article on Twitter. I'll try to find it if I can. But
like it's a L. Hold it. Just hold it.
So you're not for the Rockets being awarded the win?
If it was a like buzzer, like last couple minutes, it was a crucial moment, but fam, you had a whole quarter.
Right. Here we go. So January, this is crazy. How did this slip by me? The Heat and Hawks in January 2011 of 2008. It says the Hawks and Heat to replay final minute of December 19th game later this year. And it says that for the first time since 1982. How has this happened so many times and we never heard of this shit? That's crazy.
Well, I put 82. They wasn't even filming games. So
they were filming.
1982, like the refs were like, Yeah, it was hit or miss with the refs.
Check this out. This is crazy. For the first time since 1982, the NBA is sending two teams back to the court for a do-over. The Hawks and Heat must replay the final 51.9 seconds of their game last month because the official scores, the people who tallying it, ruled incorrectly that Shaq fouled out.
Okay, that's different.
That's way different.
So
that changed the game.
So they took him out. Yeah. So it says the Hawks won that game by 6 at home in overtime, but strike that one from the books. For now, the playoff contending Atlanta has one less win. Wow, so they took the win back and everything, while the Heat have one less loss.
That's understandable.
So, but I'm wanting to know, did the replay get? So that's the crazy part though. Like, did they just sell tickets for 51 seconds of the game? Like, what? I don't understand.
I had to shoot up for 51 seconds.
Yeah, where did they replay this? Did they like pregame? Like,
a closed gym probably.
Yeah, I need to find this.
But that's a very different scenario.
Yeah. So y'all are
missing up fouls and stuff.
I'm convinced that. Okay, here we go. It did happen. Yep, here we go. Watching the Hawks and Heat do over the last 51 seconds of a game they started in December. It's like the footage don't actually exist to this shit. So I'll find.
I think it was in a closed gym,
right? Like,
and they had like white jerseys versus black jerseys,
or like when the Hawks and let me just pause this real quick. I have to figure this out. All right, so I took a minute. That article is way too long. I can't confirm whether this game actually ever happened or not. Again, I looked on YouTube for the footage of it. I don't know if this happened. But, so yeah, I do find it kind of funny, though, with the Rockets asking the NBA to award them a win in a game they blew like a 23-point lead in. Like, this, I feel like there's no argument there. It just sometimes shit happens, you know, and because shit happens, that's why you keep your foot on the gas pedal, because clearly they were robbed of 2 points, absolutely. Apparently there was another call in that game that like evened out with this anyways, but yeah.
So they were soaking for a whole quarter. Why didn't get that? Complaining why didn't get that 2 points.
I don't know about the whole quarter. I mean, I think it happened, and then Lonnie Walker started busting
it looks. It looks like that.
Right.
I lost, but hey, you stole 2 points from me. Come on, man.
I think the NBA is just gonna say sorry. We fucked up.
Shit,
yeah, NBA is gonna be like, we fucked this one up, but like, you know, fam, it was a 23-point game. The Spurs earned it. At the end, the Spurs came back and earned it. Like, we're not replaying that. You know,
and they were missing hella shots, Rockets.
Yeah. I don't think
because those shots that Walker was hitting, like, those were shots.
Yeah,
like,
first of all, he had a couple wide open corner 3 shots.
Right.
Like, he was setting up his form and everything. Come on, man.
Yeah, so I saw on NBA TV they were like, with the Rockets, the organization is pretty much just doing this to support the players. They were saying the players probably don't really care about this that much anymore. They moved on with it. But the organization got to have their back since, something like that. I don't know, bro. Let's talk about Kyrie Irving. I'm assuming both of y'all saw his Drake style notepad post to Instagram.
Oh, you mean the whole essay?
Yeah, that shit was thick, boy. I didn't know you could fit that much in a story. So we've all read it. I'm not gonna read it all here on the podcast because it's dense. You can find it anywhere if you want.
I didn't read. I looked at it. I was like, that's too much for me.
It was in response to the Celtics, damn near cyberbullying.
Kim was dropped 39 on Kyrie
when Kyrie didn't play. Yeah,
that type.
Outside the arena, they had like a coward poster.
I saw the
Kyrie, and they were like calling him out during the game. Kyrie's a coward and stuff like that. And then he went on.
That's what fans do.
Yeah, he went on Instagram afterwards, and he wrote he wrote a Kyrie Irving style post. Like we come to expect this by now. It was like, I mean, and again, I want to say like, cause I heard I didn't read it. I had it read to me because I was like, this shit kind of this is dense. It was like I graduated already, but he was what he said wasn't necessarily wrong. It was like a life speech, and it wasn't wrong. Talking about the things that actually matter and all this stuff like that, and the things that have happened in his life since his grandfather died and all these things. But I feel like even though he wasn't wrong, the response was kind of like overdoing it to what happened, because it was some fans heckling at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Right. You left last year after you said you was going to resign there.
That was like Boston media team to put that on the Kyrie.
Nah, there wasn't no damn media team that put that there. I think that's some media team. I immediately saw that and I was like, damn. But sometimes I am ashamed to be a Celtic fan because like I let this man live during summer. Like he left, I was like, cool, we got Kemba, we move on now. Like that, I didn't think it was gonna go that hard because he didn't play. Was the big deal? He didn't play in this game.
He didn't come to the game.
Yeah, he didn't come to the game because like normally a lot of times when players are injured, they don't really travel with the team. No, they don't. They don't always sit on. Now, again, I'm not aware of if he was sitting on other benches before this one. Like if he was sitting somewhere else and then he didn't come to Boston. I don't actually know the details on that one. But yeah, it opens up this whole Kyrie's. It seemed like the gist of that whole post it's like nobody ever considers NBA players as people, I guess, because they have all the money and they have all the, the profession that they do and things like that. And so that's what he was saying. Like, nobody considers him trying to be the man of the family after his grandfather passed and stuff like that.
The problem with that is that people do this to normal people. It doesn't matter your status, man.
You say
Twitter is a real thing. Instagram is a real thing. People do this to normal people. It doesn't matter your status in life, fam.
Right,
they'll come at you regardless.
Right. And that's why I say what the things that he wrote weren't wrong. It was just like to some heckling, like, bro, LeBron, back in 2010 when he went back to Cleveland, they had to have like guards and shit like that around the arena. It's just tough because they didn't know somebody was gonna try to like hit this man noodle or whatnot.
Right.
But that was the most hate I've ever seen an arena, put on one man. And LeBron, he didn't, social media wasn't as big back then, but he just kind of took it on the chin and came back one day. You know what I mean? And so, you can feel how you want to feel about it if you're Kyrie, and
Listen, I'm all for mental health because he might be going through real mental.
Absolutely, yeah.
But fam, it's you're a professional athlete and it's Boston, fam. You know how Boston get it in.
And I feel like certain things are expected. Like, I feel like when LeBron left Cleveland, and especially the way he did it, when he came back, I think you kind of expect this town to hate you. And so the way Kyrie left, I think you kind of expect this town to.
Stuff, Dwight still was getting booed and everything. Like, shoot. T-Mac was old and he was in the arena one time. He was getting booed. And I was like, yo, like, dude ain't even in his prime no more.
Yeah. Like, this is just something that fans do. And,
if you left Boston gracefully, none of it would happen.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So he should expect this, man. Stop. No, man, chill, man.
Yeah, I felt like she expected. I felt like the whole thing about the note pile. I don't think it was really necessary. But I mean, again, it obviously has a point because at the end of the day. Like, I think if I was an NBA player, honestly, I would never really use social media because, like, you just let that shit into your headspace because none of us do know what it's like to be a celebrity where people got your name in their mouth all day, just saying weird shit about you all day.
Like,
people
don't look at your mentions, fam.
Yeah, right. Like, people writing headlines about you all day, and people lying about the headlines too. Like, if you guys saw the latest one where it says Kevin Garnett says Kyrie Irving didn't have the cojones to play in Boston, y'all saw that headline?
Nice.
I saw that.
Well, the shit was a fucking lie. You click on the article, and all Kevin Garnett said was, "Yeah, man, it takes some major cojones to play." It was like in just like a comment like that. He was like, "Yeah,
misinterpret the comment."
Yeah, it was like
say what they want to say.
Exactly. Yeah, it was like, "Oh yeah, it takes cojones to play in Boston, man." Like, yeah, Kyrie, he didn't want this because Boston is it has plenty of NBA history. So like, if you're a superstar there, you really can't just be anybody. You really got to go at it. And so like, but they made it seem like he actually insulted Kyrie. But these are the type of things you deal with when you're a player because you don't know what's real and what's not when you're reading these headlines. And so yeah, from I get Kyrie's perspective, I get it, but yeah, to some fans heckling and being dicks, like that shit was dense.
LeBron his whole career, he moved well with it. He know how to handle his, he know how to respond to these certain things.
Exactly, yeah. That's why in the playoffs he goes the 0 dark 30 thing. You don't get
That's
on.
a real thing, man.
Yeah. DeMar DeRozan said, I think he cleaned all his social media lately.
He played like he in the 90s, so I expect him to.
Yeah, he said he wish he was like in the 90s still. Yeah, if I was a player, I would probably be there. Because, like, you got all the money in the world, so like I don't even need to be on social media. Like, fuck, I need this for, you know what I mean? Except for like Graham thoughts. Other than that,
massage your ego, destroy it. That's what
yeah, exactly. So yeah, I probably wouldn't bother with that. Although the thing that happened to Kyrie wasn't even social media, it was the arena. But yeah, that's pretty much.
You believe he should sit the rest of the season?
Who? Wait.
Rod, like, damn, this came left field.
What you saying? Like, they ain't playing for nothing this year.
Yeah, check it out, right? Again, like, it seems like every game I see Kyrie's shoulder has been updated to like 2 more games or whatever. It's like an injury.
How long he been out?
He's been out for a minute now.
And
the Nets have been winning without him. And no, like, if it's not anything that's gonna get worse or whatever, I don't think it's to that level yet, right? I was just saying that I could easily see a situation where there's like, oh, it's gonna get worse. We don't want him to fuck up something before Kevin Durant comes back next year, because that's Brooklyn's entire selling point right now is Kyrie and Kevin Durant. You don't want nothing to happen to Kyrie before next year. So if it comes to that, and it's needed, but right now I don't think we're even at that level. I was just saying earlier, yeah, the Nets aren't really playing for anything this year. Like, we knew it was all about KD next year.
Championship bust, huh?
Huh?
Championship or bust, right?
I mean, not this year.
So I'm saying he should play to get in tune with the system, playing with those Karis LeVert and
yeah.
What's homeboy name? Light skin.
Spencer Dinwiddie.
Yeah, Spencer. So you gotta get him reps in.
That stuff can matter to like establish a pecking order, because that was Boston's problem when him and Hayward came back. There was no pecking order, so like you had like Hayward trying to get back, you had Kyrie getting the shots, Brown and Tatum, Rozier like was good. So like on this young team where you let Spencer Dinwiddie and all these people grow wild, then you and KD come back next year. Who knows? Again, on paper everything works, but then you get there and it's like these dudes who had all these shots last year, they're looking crazy now. So maybe from that perspective, it'd be better for him to be around. What do y'all think? So we'll go ahead and switch off from Kyrie and the Nets. First of all, Rajon Rondo, just throwing this out there, he's shooting 48% from 3 this year, on 3 attempts a game. Like, he's actually a decent shooter now. But what do y'all think about this whole thing going on with the Lakers? They're like 17-3 or 18-3.
We won the championship. I will say this, even though 48%, that's really high, but I mean, he's been shooting over 35% for a while.
Yeah, like
for multiple years. Yeah, he just always has like really low attempts, so you don't never really think about it. But it's not like he went from like 29% all the way to 48.
He's been becoming a decent shooter. Like last year he was knocking down some, but now it's like legitimate. Like you watch games and he's hitting these bitches. But I was gonna say about like the teams they're playing this year. What do y'all think about the Lakers? Because that was been like the big narrative this year. It's like the strength of the Lakers schedule.
Strength of schedule.
Yeah. People, I ain't gonna front. We were playing some dummy teams. We got a lot of wins off some dummy teams.
I mean, yeah, on one hand, yes, but on the other hand, like, this is a legit team. Like, you have LeBron.
Oh, we winning. Like, we winning the championship this year.
Like,
yeah, man.
Y'all beating the Clippers?
Literally 2 top 5 players. He actually has help around him, shooters, bench. Like, it's the most help LeBron's had in a really long time. So.
Yeah, I say with the Lakers, just check it out. I believe they are. Let me just double check right now. They're 19-3 right now.
19-3, and Bucks 19-3 too.
They are? Yeah, right there. So the Lakers' 3 losses this year came against the Clippers, came against the Raptors, and came against the Mavericks. Those are all good teams. Yeah, those are all playoff, really strong level teams. And then their notable wins, like they got the Jazz twice, who the Jazz are, they are what they are.
I feel about Conley, man.
But I mean, I think the Jazz, they're not a terrible team though. But then you got teams like the Hornets, the Grizzlies, Spurs, Bulls. They got the Heat. That's a good win, actually. That's a good win. The Suns, Warriors, Kings, Hawks. Too. Yeah, beat the Mavs. Yeah, the Thunder, Grizzlies again, Pelicans, Wizards. So it's garbage teams, but also I say like exactly where I stand on this is, first of all, beating everyone that you play. Winning the games you're supposed to win, that's a talent, That's something you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Now, when you lose games that, like the Celtics last year, losing games they weren't supposed to lose, that's how we end up in that situation. So that matters. And also just the fact that and they beat some good teams like you said as well.
Yeah.
I just said that for the Lakers, just kind of reserve judgment a little bit, because they're gonna play. Their schedule's gonna get tougher. They're gonna play better teams and more contenders.
Right.
But also, like, clearly they're a good ass team. Very clearly. They got LeBron and AD, bro. The AD's a fucking defensive player of the year right now.
Blocking the fuck
both
out
in the MVP race. And like Rod said, shooters everywhere. Bench Dwight Howard doing what he does. Rondo shooting now. Clearly, it's a good fucking team.
It's a great team, though.
Yeah. Clearly, this is a good team, and I think the strength of the schedule argument is.
It's just a waste of time, because that hot take will be it'll be either true or false just by giving it some time. So just wait. Right.
Because if right now you're using the strength of their schedule right now, if you're one of those people, you're basically saying like, oh, the Lakers aren't a legitimate. That implies you're arguing they're not really that legitimate. Come on, bro. This is a legitimate fucking team.
Yeah.
At the same time, I'm saying I wouldn't use a 19-3 record to just do what you're doing right now and give them a title. That's what I'm saying. Because
I'm just saying talent level. I don't see a team beating the AD and LeBron at full strength.
So you really don't think the Clippers get on?
Well, Giannis by himself, and I don't believe Kawhi.
Getting out the West first though. Get out the West.
Well, I'm saying I don't believe Kawhi health. I'm questioning about Kawhi health.
No, I mean once he gets to the playoffs, they ain't gonna matter.
I don't know, man.
Ain't gonna matter.
I don't trust that theory.
He'll be all right, bro. He was all right last year.
Again, we comparing that later. Well, no, I don't trust that.
What do you think, bro? Okay, so he's like, yeah, fuck it, we got a title this year.
We got a title, fam.
What do you think? Are you? Because I'm saying,
so y'all can really see a team beating AD. LeBron.
I think the Clippers when I started this year. I'm not moving off that just yet.
Yeah, I think the Clippers got a chance. I mean, AD's gonna be a problem for anybody. But the thing is that the Clippers have enough help between Beverly, George, and Leonard to keep switching off of LeBron.
Man, come on, man. Beverly don't play defense. He just move around and now messing with
no.
At least they got enough agitators. So I'm saying like defense. You say offense wins games, defense wins championships. So
apparently.
Despite people have made it seem like the sky was falling on the Clippers because they're not first in the West. First of all, I had been said they're not going to be first in the West. Obviously, with their health problems, they're not more than likely. But even with that, they're still second. They're not that far behind the Lakers. With the Lakers going on a massive win streak and everything, last time I looked, they're only 3 games behind them.
Yeah. Again, Lakers must win those games. You got to win those playing those bottom feeder teams. You got to win those.
Yeah, exactly, and they're doing that. So they'll probably end up, at this rate, they're going to end up with like 60 plus wins this year, and they're going to be a good team.
They've lost those games. We've still been on them.
Right. And like you were saying, seeing them. Look, I will admit, okay, trying to justify a team beating LeBron and AD 4 times in like a week or 2, a week and a half.
Yeah, all we gotta do is avoid Clippers until
the Western Conference Finals.
That's all I'm saying.
Because those are still the 2 best teams to me. Those are the 2 best teams.
When they get to that point, then we can, But I ain't trying to see Clippers right now.
And no team, and the whole thing about who's gonna stop AD, nobody's gonna stop AD. Nobody. Like nobody has anyone to stop AD. All right, that man that y'all are looking for out there.
Rudy Gobert, Rudy.
No. The only thing that can stop AD is injuries, bro. That's it. Injuries in himself. Yeah, that's it. So the Clippers don't have anybody, of course. But again, that's what happened in the first game of the season. It seemed like the Lakers played off of that philosophy.
Yeah.
Who do they have? And they just gave the ball to AD every play. But it's like, okay, that's not going. That's not win you 4 games. You know what I mean? Given the Lakers will be a better team by the time that happens, I think they may have even picked up somebody by then.
You're great when you only person that hurts you is yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it is hard, but I'm not moving off the Clippers yet. I think the Clippers are still a really good team. But again, like I said, Lakers, their ceiling is obviously a championship. So
I got an excuse why we lose. They got more pieces. That's all it is.
You talking about more pieces, my ass.
They got more pieces than us.
Nah, bro. The Lakers have proved themselves as a legit. Like, there's some crazy stat, like when LeBron and Caruso are on the floor together, like, it's
a little wild, or like in the fourth quarter. Like,
they got all kinds of crazy.
I don't know. For some reason, I get annoyed by this Caruso guy.
And people have been getting annoyed. I haven't, but people are like, oh.
No, people like him because he's losing his hair.
You say people only like him, but he's actually the good defensively.
Because he had head for the hell. We won't be tripping on him because he.
You're right.
Because he's 45.
Okay,
dunking. That's why we own this man.
Because he's a meme. Obviously, he brings in more attention than your other 5 point per game scores. But he does winning things. LeBron, the whole team love him. He got put back dunks every now and then.
No hair. I'm trying to tell you.
Well, he wouldn't be getting this hype if he looked regular. You know what I mean? Like, because what really brings you to Caruso is like the first time I seen him like really explode and dunk. I'm like, wait, he can dunk? You know what I mean? So. Yeah, I think there was like a minimal outrage this week about the hype Caruso gets, and I'm like, bro,
I like
it's
the
hawk
noise, eagle noise they throw out when he's dunking and stuff.
Yeah, yeah. If he win a championship, it's gonna be funny. All the photoshops that come, like of him holding the trophy and shit, they're gonna be putting him with like the greats and shit like that.
Yeah, it's gonna be like Scalabrine.
Yeah, he gonna be the next. Yeah, you're right.
He's our modern day Scalabrine, except the fact that he's actually really. I mean, that was a time when Scalabrine was contributing too, a little bit, but like it was like their Nets days, Like by the time he was on Boston, it was just a meme.
Yeah, it was a meme. Completely.
Before memes was even like a thing that we talked about. So yeah, that's where we stand with the Lakers, bro. Just be cool on the Lakers. Yeah, they haven't played that many.
He's the same person that didn't play a minute in the finals and got a ring, right?
Scalabrine?
Yeah.
There's a lot of people who've done that.
Yeah. No, his post game
interview. Yeah. He was like, for like 10 years from now, I'm gonna tell you.
Someone's
trying to created that meme too.
yeah.
That's crazy. He's a legend.
Because the reporter was trying to roast.
Exactly.
He created it 10 years from now. I'm gonna say this.
It's funny inadvertently by saying that, like he's immortalized, and we know he didn't really ever play.
Legend, man.
Man's a great commentator though. All right, so one more thing, because we got some good. 2 more things actually. They said that Fred VanVleet, because if y'all didn't know, Fred VanVleet, first of all, playing defense this year.
He's been balling.
Yeah, man stepped up in that starting role, averaging 21 points a game. And they're saying that this summer, the executives are saying like he could be getting a bag, something like 21, 25 million.
Someone will pay him.
He's taking Lowry's spot,
huh?
Because Lowry's only on a 1-year deal right now.
Yeah, so people are saying maybe they'll start to move forward with VanVleet, because the Raptors aren't gonna let.
They're gonna slide on homie.
Say what?
They slotted on
because VanVleet's one of the reasons why they're still relevant.
Oh, absolutely.
With losing Kawhi, even though Siakam, all them boys are still over there.
Absolutely, MVP candidate now too. Like last week, I was saying even if he not He's moved. He's on that ladder right now.
Because we all thought Toronto was gonna still make the playoffs because it's the East, but we weren't thinking that they were gonna be in the position that they're in right now.
The thing I was looking at was kind of like undersized backcourt with Lowry and then Van Vliet. I was like, I don't think it's gonna be that great, but Van Vliet is like, it wasn't just that little finals role he filled. Like that man is legit. Yeah. But people are saying like, it would be the most New York Knicks thing ever to give a player like give a guy like Van Vliet, that many millions basically because. Again, he's a good player, no doubt. The Raptors need him. They don't want to let him go. But like if a team pay him like a star, I think that, like we've seen things like this happen with players before, where they playing really well, they get this crazy contract from a team that wasn't that good, and all of a sudden they look crazy because
because part of the reason why they were good was because of who was around them.
I don't want to hop out the window on that, man.
Yeah, but the Raptors not gonna let him go. They need to keep Van Vliet.
I'm pretty sure he can negotiate some stuff.
Yeah, they'll keep Van Vliet. And finally, the last thing is there's been these rumblings. I know Rod, you're not on Twitter, so you wouldn't know. But like Bucks fans, have this theory that the media wants Giannis to leave Milwaukee this summer. They trying to force.
Oh yeah, I've been hearing that.
I hear that too.
Y'all hear that? So what do y'all think about that? Because like every time if people get sensitive about it, it's their star. Like it's the only thing that It's the only thing Milwaukee has. It's the only thing they've had in a long time is Giannis. And so you get sensitive when his free agency are coming up and, people are starting to do rumblings. Yeah, but like people, you think the media is actually trying to like,
Yeah. I think it's better for him when he goes to a bigger market.
They obviously bigger market because
why are you bringing it up? He went to the it's his fault he didn't get better. And he didn't prove it. He didn't go to the finals. It was his play. It's not like his surrounding pieces wasn't good. So why you bring up that narrative like will he leave if they can't? Like I don't think that was cool to this,
Wait.
Like right after he got eliminated from the finals, that report came out saying if they don't improve, Giannis might leave.
Well, okay,
but that was because his play, not his surrounding pieces.
Partly, but then also you got Bledsoe playing like trash. You got things like that.
Well, the reason why they lost because Giannis had no jump shot.
I mean, he was.
That was a contributing factor.
They were definitely able to take him out of his MVP mode, but building that wall all series basically. Take him out of that. So yeah, I get what you mean by that.
Like right after he lost, it came out. Like, come on, man.
Well, yeah, but okay.
But remember, half these articles just for clicks.
I'm saying that's why I think they try to steer him away from the re-signing.
Okay, yeah, but
I want him on the Warriors.
To your point, when we were talking about duos this year, Giannis and Middleton come at the bottom because like Middleton is not that guy like the other. He's not like the Westbrook and the other, the other guys. And the reality of this is like, first of all, the thing Milwaukee fans say right now, if you say Giannis is gonna leave, they go like, "Oh no, he said he loves Milwaukee." He's saying,
we don't go by that.
Every player ever.
That.
We got to talk about Kyrie.
Paul George # unfinished business with a cigar in his mouth and his homie gone next year.
That money right? Like, hold up, let me think about it,
bro. Player, I don't want to hear that as a defense for any player, any superstar. MVP.
I think he posted. I got. Something about DNA. He's a Kendrick Lamar verse when he re-signed or something.
Every player says some shit like that, bro. All of them say some shit like that. Reality is, if the Bucks don't go to the finals this year, at least next year is the last year on his contract. So that's when you start looking at like, that's like LeBron last year in Cleveland at one time. It's like, okay, it's like win or bust because Giannis is that type of player. He that type of legacy player.
Right.
Yeah, if he don't
he's one of those where he needs to win.
Yeah, let's put it that way. Yeah, he needs to win a championship if Milwaukee wants to keep him, he got to win a title before his contract is up. Right? He's not staying if he don't win a title.
Let's say he gets to the finals but never wins.
No,
he leaving
bounce. Cool. Unless they get him something, bro. Giannis is not going to be the type of. You can see it in his eyes.
But he has opportunity where he can literally just attach to someone that's like basically there, and when there's nothing happening in Milwaukee and no moves being made. And it's like, and the contract's up, and having going to the finals and losing,
out, bro.
Is he the type to join a stacked team too?
I don't know about like crazy super team. I'm just saying going
to Warriors has space for him. I don't know if they do.
Fuck. Now Giannis, the one thing about Giannis is he doesn't even train with other players in the off season. LeBron invite him to train. He like he don't do the buddy stuff. At the same time, the man is on. But
you
mission.
Gotta be on a buddy in this league, man.
Yeah, see, I don't know if Giannis is the type of player that would because going to the Warriors in 2021 would still be considered selling out because you still have Clay, you'll still have Steph.
Man, you got this Pascal guy.
They still have everybody.
Yeah,
and it'll be broken again.
Yeah, it'll be like they traded KD for Giannis.
Because they'll literally just be the Warriors with a legitimate center. That's literally what it would be.
I cannot at all right now see Giannis, especially because he's on a mission since his father passed away. away and stuff. I can't see him, going to sell out for some cheap rings. I can't see that. Now, can I see him going somewhere where he has more help? If then Milwaukee will have gotten him by then, absolutely. Go somewhere where they have like
a legitimate like duo and like a bench.
Yeah, because
I can see him going somewhere like that.
Yeah, because what if the Heat?
Right.
Like, who knows what the cap space will look like by then. I'm just saying, at this point, like, what if we end up this year with Milwaukee and Lakers in the finals and Giannis getting bounced around by AD and LeBron? Like, he going, that make you feel some type of way eventually. Like, not everybody's Lillard. Not everybody's just like going to take it on the chin and hope one day something fall out the sky.
Hey, we still out on Lillard now. Don't get it twisted.
What?
We still out. He might, if something... He got a chance to change his mind too now.
Not change his mind. Nah,
for a trade
he's a KG, bro. He's a Kevin Garnett. Like the team gonna have to force him away.
KG left too now.
Yeah, no,
he
didn't
traded.
They were like,
he allowed the trade to happen.
Yeah, he was
I'm saying you should got allowed it to happen. I'm pretty sure he said I don't want to.
Yeah, it was after the Wolves were like, bro, we can't. We're done here. Like you're not winning here. We want to rebuild. Like you're done. Right. We gonna send you somewhere you can compete, KG. Okay. It'd be like that for Lillard. It'd be like, we gotta sever ties. We gotta send you somewhere you can play.
I'm gonna send you to a better place. So.
Yeah. But no, if Giannis hasn't had a title by then, again, I don't see him selling out for the Warriors. But if your second best player is still Chris Middleton by that time, which it probably still will be, and you haven't won, why would you stay? And you want to win a championship. He's that type of player. He's a legacy player. He's gonna need a ring on top of that, bro. And so, yeah, I don't see it as much as I don't even see it as much as the media trying to force him out just because it's good for ratings. I just see like this is what always happens with star players when they get to their contract year. This is what happens.
All right, man. It seemed like as soon as he got eliminated, here that's when the narrative came. He got to leave if he can't get his winning title.
I mean, and it probably is hard for the NBA to push Milwaukee as well, too.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's a little bit difficult.
I remember the week he dropped 50. He wasn't the headliner. I think they were talking about like, I don't know, Luka or somebody. Mm-hmm. He had to go search for his 50 points because he on the Bucks, man.
That'll be 2021. So I'm just trying to figure something out real quick. That's the 2021 summer. He's a free agent. Yeah. That will be LeBron's option year, will it not? Because he's done 1 year last year. New one right now. This is 2020. So yeah, that'll be his option year. Okay, I was just wondering about how Giannis and Lakers thing works, but I don't think it does at all because they still have AD and LeBron by that time probably. So that
money would not work.
Yeah, nothing would work.
Not at all.
Anyways, yeah, I just thought that was interesting.
On one team.
I just thought that was interesting. That's a very touchy subject for Milwaukee fans because they realize
absolutely, like, man.
If Giannis bounce, like it's back to the bottom.
For real, man.
But for what it's worth, again, he does seem like one of the most competitive players in the league today. He doesn't really seem like he's just jumping to go join somebody else. But everybody do it when it comes down to it, and the contract come up. Everybody do what's best for themselves. So
you don't think he'll Lillard type?
Well, no, because Lillard is loyal.
Lillard is stubbornly.
Yeah,
I'm in the city.
Like he's loyal to the point that it's like almost like to
toxic,
a fault,
like a toxic relationship.
I think Giannis is loyal to a point like this is my shit. I'm gonna do all I can in the 7 years. But like if I don't see the effort on y'all side by the time it's done, I think he would probably go. Whereas Lillard on the other hand, it's like okay, we got McCollum, cool. I'll just stick it out until it's until
and that's bad, right? To have that type of loyalty.
I mean, I'm
not saying it's bad, but like in the modern NBA, that's not like
it's not a formula for winning.
That's not how people be now.
Because a lot of things have to happen for Lillard to eventually end up winning. Like a lot of things have to happen,
especially when people are jumping ship to the greener pastures.
Yeah, it's got like that time.
That's why we have so many fans that flip flops to teams. Because there's no loyalty on them.
Yeah, because the players do.
Yeah, man. NFL, even though I watch NFL, you got people with face paint in 30-degree weather. They be out there for 10, 20 years.
Right.
You know what I mean? NBA, he over there, I'm going over there.
Okay, but again, with players, and loyalty again, we just heard Chris Paul say this week, like, Daryl Morey told him, like, oh, no, I'm not going to trade you to the Thunder, and, like, man was gone in, like, a couple of days, so...
Because apparently he was feuding with Harden. That's why.
I'm saying no. He told him that like right before it happened. Just like DeMar DeRozan.
Just lied to his face.
Yeah, just like DeMar DeRozan.
Allegedly, unless that deal wasn't in place, but like
just like Masai.
So Harden, the chemistry between him, whatever it was.
Of course, that probably helped. I mean,
I'm saying that's different. Harden's your star player.
No. But my point is that week, Daryl Morey is like, nah, you're not going nowhere. He's out. Like, and it's so same thing with Masai Ujiri did to DeMar DeRozan.
That's how the most. That's how the most players.
Like the role like that.
I'm saying that's the same thing. DeMar did the same thing to Chris Paul.
What different? Harden probably said, I want him out. I want him slide.
I'm saying in that same week though, he said I'm not gonna trade you to the Thunder. Like that's not gonna happen.
I'm saying, how about he said that Harden like, you're not. Get him out of here.
And again, we don't even know how Chris
DeRozan, we know why. Like damn,
Right. Come on, man. My whole point with that little spiel is like, fam, loyalty to these teams. Like they'll roll on you at any time. So
you should be loyal to them. I feel you. Yeah. Everybody signed 2 years one option, and we can just keep it going.
I mean, if we could teeter that line where it don't end up with like some mega super team together, then yeah, I'm cool with it.
Yeah, man. Everybody signed 2 years on it, man. Everybody's rent condos, man.
Yeah, you gotta, like Drake said, you gotta move freely. You know what I mean? Man.
People retiring with like 10 jerseys now.
Hey, man. Yeah, it is what it is.
I'm just saying, it should be some type of a player should resonate with one, not one city, but come on, man. You should have some.
Yeah, you're saying the greats don't have like.
You can have 5 jerseys, man.
By your choice, because like again, like someone would bring up and say, "Oh, what about Shaq?" But Shaq was traded a lot too, though.
He was trash when getting traded. I understand,
and he was like older too. Yeah. But you still don't like to see the greats with that many jerseys. Like I wish Pierce hadn't played for like 3 different teams at the end of his career.
Wow, man.
But
Melo got a jersey he ain't wore yet.
He played for more than 3 teams.
Dude got a Hawks jersey somewhere.
Pierce played for Washington, Clippers.
Brooklyn.
Oh yeah, Brooklyn and that's it. Yeah, Celtics.
Nasty, man.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
A couple of those you ain't gonna remember in like 10 years.
I mean, the reality is that the cat's out the bag. With the way the 2010s went, like players doing whatever they need to do for themselves, and I don't think it's.
How many jerseys Dwight got?
Probably like 4 or 5 at this point. Because he played for the Magic, Lakers, Rockets, Hornets, Hawks, Washington, and Lakers again. Yeah.
Crazy.
Hey man, things happen. Man. Yep. All right, so yeah, that does it for our topics this week. We went through everything. I will be monitoring closely what happens with this Rockets redo because I'm interested to watch that 7-minute broadcast where everything.
You gotta be in closed.
It's gonna be like a straight radio broadcast, like the 40s or some shit. Like they're not gonna have no TV and nothing like that.
You can't charge people to come see that.
You're gonna be hearing straight static and echoes.
So I got a question. You played the 7 minutes, but you still counting the whole fourth?
No,
it was like 7 to 15.
So whatever the stats were up to that point, I guess. Don't know. Yeah, whatever was up to that point, like it's like you like some Doctor Strange. You just rewind that shit right to that point, and you go. So
what happens? Someone get injured? It's like they say they got like Lonnie can't play. Hey,
if the Spurs weren't competing for a championship, or I mean, if they weren't trying to make the playoffs, Popovich would be petty. He'll sit everybody that game, bring the G Leaguers out to that shit or something like that. Right. But he can't do that because they're trying to make the playoffs now. I don't know how. I'm about to read this Hawks and Heat article and see how that works.
That's strange.
Yeah, bro. But yeah, man, that'll be all for this week. So if this podcast is easier for you to digest on Spotify and iTunes, you can listen to it there. Link will be in the comment section and description. Be sure to hit the like button, comment, and sub to the channel if you enjoyed, and we will see you all next weekend. Thanks for listening.